people don't know, a lot of these people that you see on YouTube that look like everyday people, they are, you think that Bobby, whatever her name is, girl, is an industry plant. It is the random people on YouTube that look like normal everyday people, or the people who are on TikTok. Their whole purpose is to get you to buy and to try to keep up with somebody else, but you thinking they just a normal, regular person. No. And in the same way with that, companies used to have commercials and they're like, oh, social media is the new thing now. So now we're going to put our informants on social media and have them get your money that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to talk to my daughter about that not too long ago. I was telling her about all these celebrities and stuff, that the stuff that they get for free, and here it is, you're trying to break your neck to look like, um, you fill in the blank. I'm not going to say any names, but and that was a shock to her. She was like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." So,
We really have to show our kids what's behind the veil. And also I know for me, well, my parents were just like, I'm like, oh, they had that come out of me quickly because they were just like, you're not here to be like everybody else. You're here
mm,
to be like you. And if I was like, oh, can I get this? The question is, but why? Why do you want it? And if it's like because so and so has it, they're like, what that got to do with you? What does that have to do with what you want? And I'm so grateful that they did that to me because at the time it was like, my parents are punishing me. I've gotten good grades. How come I can't have this, that, and the other? But what it instilled in me is a huge sense of self. And now, when I'm looking at what are the things that I want, it has very little, not nothing, but very little to do with what everybody else is doing. And I can kind of, move through the noise and do the things that really align with the desires of my heart and with who I really am.
that's good. Yeah, we have to teach our kids that because a lot of times, and I know I'm guilty of it, you always want your kids to have more than what you had, but then it's like at what cost, you know?
Mm-hmm. And what is more? They can have,
Mhm.
but more future options. Redefining. That's why we really have to start redefining a lot of these things. What does it mean to have more? Because we would be so much better off because there is so much richness available to us, but we're just looking in the wrong direction because that's where somebody dangled a carrot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I once heard a man say, "You never know what you have until you go over your neighbor's house."
Okay, you never knew you needed that thing that you didn't really need and they never use.
Yeah, right. I wanted to continue on these seven because I kind of
Okay,
got
okay.
into rabbit trails. It's all good though. I love the conversation. You talked about financial ignorance. That's a huge one. Uh, Grooming. Can we stick a pin there real quick? Can you talk about grooming, please? Just for a little bit.
So I'm not gonna make no friends with this one
It's all good. We'll use it as a
because I don't know how we got to this place where everything has to be bought. Your hair has to be bought, the eyelashes have to be bought, the nails have to be bought. These are things that literally grow out of your body, but that's not good enough. The version that we're born with isn't good enough. And if we're being honest with ourselves, we can see the ways that is detrimental to our mental health. We can see the ways that it could be detrimental to future generations of women and young girls and boys. We can see how it could be detrimental. We can see how people are using our insecurities to profit. But there's something about being stuck in a cycle. It's that cognitive dissonance that will have you defend your right to be insecure, that will have you defend your right to be oppressed in a way. And you don't really want to deal with that because there's something very gratifying about being able to do that thing, being able to get your hair done, being able to get your nails done, you know, being able to do all of that. And then we say that it's self-care when where is the self? If it's self-care, you do your nails, do it yourself, like that's maintenance. So, and maintenance is fine, but don't pretend. that is self-care. When you're doing self-care, you are, there's some touching, there's some loving on yourself that's involved in that process. Like when you're doing skin to skin with yourself, there is some self-love that's happening in that process that doesn't happen when you're just sitting in a chair, disconnected from everything, not talking to the person who's doing your hair, kind of just on your phone. And a lot of times it feels like a chore. And people know it, but they don't want to say it. Going to get your nails, it feels like a chore. The one thing I do, like I have a beard and I'm going to get this. I'm getting my beard waxed. Like that's just gonna happen. Sometimes, not right now, my eyebrows are real bushy, but when I'm really like when I'm wanting to be cute, I go get my eyebrows done. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that we can't do things to, make ourselves look better or enhance ourselves, but I'm just saying when you get to the place where it has to be done and you're willing to spend money that you don't have on it, then that's when I think that we should really start to reconsider how important those things are to us and why that is, and be honest about what could be underlying that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because yeah, I never knew like hair and nails was so expensive. I had no idea. And I was like, oh, okay, this is real.
People are spending hundreds of dollars on their nails, and you know and it's not my thing. Like there are things that everybody has their thing.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of, shaming people who want to get there, except lashes. I will shame you for that. I'm going to shame you for your lashes. Like, but I'm just joking. Like, everybody has their thing. But the question is, what is your bank account able to handle at this time? Just because it's something that we want to do doesn't mean that it's something that we're able to do. And it's certainly not something that we have to do and able to be in order to be our highest, most authentic versions of ourselves. And that's the part that I really want to drill down on.
Yes. And like you said, what does your bank account say? Most people bank accounts say natural, just be natural.
Oh, most people bank accounts are saying, please be natural. Please. Right.
Just
And I
be-
think I'm like, okay, but you have the assets are not there. Cause like when I have all the assets I want, there will be clues. And right now I don't have them. And there are clues. Like there you can see like the eyebrows are bushy today. Like, but also I was raised to love myself. I had a mom who was just, you know, she loved herself and men loved her, and she never gave me any indication that it was because of anything that she had to do to herself in order to love herself or in order to be desired by others. And so I just look around like, I mean, it is what it is, and you get what you get, and I love who I am, and you're going to either like it or leave it. That's just what it is.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, because there's nothing wrong. I mean, I just love natural beauty. I mean, makeup and hair and nails, I get it. I'm cool with that. But natural beauty is like undefeated.
I
You
hear men say that all the time, and when I'm gonna challenge you on it because this is what I hear women say too.
okay.
So men will be like, we love natural beauty, but then when we out, we don't really see the men going for the natural women. So what would you say to that?
Mm, yeah, this is a whole conversation. I don't want to get too off track, but I will say that